So is it still live? Looks like it's still going. I wonder if it cut it off. Oh yeah. Wow, 23 miles, that's awesome. Hope it hits this number one day. Yeah. Oh, definitely. It'll happen. Eventually I'll end up doing a full. I just haven't gotten around to it. I trained for a full marathon back in my prime, back in college, when I was a younger man. And I ran 23 miles out of the 26.2. And then and hey Tom, thanks for hopping on to Second Life. Sometimes it gets weird when I change the battery. But I made it to 23 miles in the rain, and then it started lightning. There's a lot of lightning. I don't know if you could turn lightning into a verb, but there's a ton of lightning, and the police canceled the race for lightning for safety. So they were driving around in cop cars making everyone turn around and go home. So like I was 3.2 miles, which is a 5K from the finish, and then I had to just quit the race. So it's like an honorary half marathon, or honorary marathon, but I never truly made it. Alright, I'm almost ready. Gotta take my gooey packet. Did my bio break, talking with a cool guy. Mr. Tom. Fixing my pants while I'm off camera. I mean, I'm out in public, so I probably should pull it back up a little bit. I'm just getting my shirt tucked right. Everything tucked proper. Yeah, today we woke up at about 3:40 to get out here. Started running around 4:45. But I had everything like staged the night before, which helps tremendously. I'll pop you on my head. But good morning. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully this is an encouragement to you. I prayed for that this morning. I was like, dear God, if I'm going to go out here and run and suffer, I hope that it at least is helpful for somebody on their own personal journey. One of my many dear God, don't let it be a waste kind of prayers. It's really kind of like a weak passive prayer, but it's all I could muster. All right, so our choices for gooey packet right now, we have triple berry naked, which is just tasteless, or orange. Everything fruity sounds disgusting, so I'm just gonna eat another tastefully nude packet. This is just like eating cream cheese frosting, but warm, because it's been in my pocket, and gross. Not a good warm, like not a gooey cinnamon roll warm, like a that seems like that's not safe to eat warm. It's been sitting too long, cooking in my pocket, especially in the summer runs. Those are awful. All right. Nummy. But that should kind of give me the energy I need to keep rolling. We're sore but safe. Left knee's a little clicky, so I'll try to be mindful of that. Now friends, I'm about 300 pounds, running 8 miles. So it's possible. You just gotta train proper so it's safe. I'm on day 273 of my journey. Hanging out under a bridge in Tokyo. Technically Kawasaki. Oh, these are disgusting. Gross. And they're sticky. Hate it. Sorry, Tom, I had the wrong message settings. So I actually missed the last couple of your comments. Let me catch up and read. YouTube defaults to top messages instead of all messages, which I don't understand. It's a really dumb setting, honestly. I mean, I guess if I'm like a full-time content creator with like 100 plus people on the live, sure, show me what's on top and filter out the rest, I guess, but even that seems kind of rude. All right, gooey packet complete. Next we need to check your messages, say start walking, and put our gloves on. All right, most I ever walked is 12K. Hey, that's great though, man. That's amazing. Yeah, it is live. Thanks for the stream. You stay safe. Osteoarthritis is hard, dude. Osteoarthritis is no joke. The problem is, like, once the body starts degenerating, there's certain things that are very difficult to work backwards. If you catch it early enough, there are some possibilities, but once you start getting on certain medical intervention paths, like, there's only so much medicine, surgery can do. And then you start getting hooked on painkillers, and like, life becomes a hot mess as you get older and have different conditions. I have 2 compressed discs in my lower back at my L4 and L5, so they push into my spinal cord. We're gonna walk up the hill, maybe even part of the bridge, and then I'll probably start jogging on the downhill just to kind of warm back into it again. We're at about 5 miles, we got 3 miles left, and the pacing's looking pretty good. Yo, Kingsley, how's it going, bud? Welcome to the 8-mile run where I walk and talk. I'll start running soon. Got a little bit of, I don't know if it's chafe. You know how like sometimes everything's not on as intended when moving? Something shifted just enough where I'm like, oh, that's probably gonna hurt later. It's great. It's just part of life. Yeah, osteoporosis or arthritis, they're 2 different ones. I always mix up which one. One of them softens your bones. One of them softens, I think, cartilage between the bones, where you like eventually, one, you end up with bone on bone. And the other one, do you just get weak bones? I thought the porosis is the weak bones one. Arthritis, I don't know. Someone's out there getting squats. Love it. Not good is medical pain and emotional. Oh my gosh, Kingsley, I'm so sorry to hear that. The only treatment for osteo surgery, joint replacement, which isn't cool. No. We don't want that. Should we start on an uphill? That seems exciting. Fine. Nice and mellow. Nice and mellow. Here we go. Here we go, friends. We got a nice, cool, easy 3 miles. Nice and fun. 3 miles, then we get to see our kids. Now, friends, because I actually have 2 people that are engaging chat. First of all, it's awesome. Thank you for spending your time with me. You could literally be anywhere on the internet with the endless sea of content and entertainment available to you. And for some reason, you've chosen to run and wheeze with me, so welcome. But you're currently inside a bag and it's drizzling lightly, and my main focus is running safely with a light pace, good conversational pace, good form. So all that said, sometimes chat will be hard for me to keep up with, but I do my best. Sometimes it's hard for me to read, again, through a bag. And sometimes it's hard for me to talk and run. So with that, you've been warned. Let me catch up now. Osteoporosis, soft bones, break easy. Arthritis, bone on bone. There we go. There we go. Big time answers from Tom. Appreciate it. Weight bearing exercises prevent osteoporosis. Okay, that makes sense. Got to build up them bones. Yeah, osteoarthritis. Some people can do like injections after pain medicine, but normally you progress towards joint replacement surgery. From a physical therapy perspective, if you can build up strength around the joint and have some reduction in weight, assuming you're overweight, that can ease or stabilize the symptoms a little bit. You speak a lot of languages? Awesome, which ones? I speak Japanese a little bit, and English. Daigakusei toki Nihongo o benkyou shimashita. Domo yoko wakarimasen. I studied Japanese in college, but I often don't understand. And then they always smile and laugh. And then we speak broken Japanese and broken English. It's great. Proving life, being brave, brave enough to stream is brave. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, I've been live streaming fitness since 2020, and I'm a big guy, big boy. So, especially for strength and conditioning, like, everyone's got their own body image issues wherever you are in your spectrum of physique. It's always been hard, but I've always found that it's encouraging to bring people into the mess of your life. So, and I'm a verbal processor, so chat's been great because I can at least whine and gripe about my journey and then still do it anyway. Early in our training, it marks the half point of any run. As we progress in our training towards a half marathon, we have to run to it, run past it on the other side of the river, run back to it, run over it, run back home. Like, it's a great landmark, and it separates Tokyo City from Kawasaki, which is pretty cool. Wow, Kingsley, that's awesome. That is incredibly awesome, dude. Yeah, one of the things I was thinking about for my digital half marathon training program is, like, one of the coolest things, if you ever do train up, sorry for all the traffic noise, it'll go away in a minute, but one of the coolest things about running like a half marathon, besides physically running with people, because the community side of it's really cool, is like, you get a medal, you know, like, and it'll have like the date and the name of the race and some cool insignia. Some medals are heavier than others. It's just a really nice thing. So I've been thinking about, like, for anyone who finishes the DadBod journey, like, I have a laser cutter because I'm an engineer and a nerd. I'm thinking about making like custom laser cut medals. I haven't decided what. I can also engrave, so part of me is really interested in like making a medal out of stone and like engraving it. I don't know, just it'd be so different. So that's a possibility in the future. All right, friends, big marker right here, right where we're at from the start. Half left, and that'll take us to 8. So just got to keep. Oh. Raised in Germany, moved to France, then Japan. Oh my gosh, Canada? How'd you end up in Canada? Well done. Here's my favorite train crossing. It's just so aesthetic. Let me check my Wi-Fi router. I don't know if the feed's coming through well for you, if it's just my phone's issue, viewing YouTube. So walk for a minute. I just want to make sure everything, because if it gets too spotty, YouTube will drop the live because they're mean like that. All right, that's in good and tight. Thing's doing its job. Tuck that back in my pocket. Beautiful river. Well, I'd give you a sunrise, but it's so cloudy today. I'm gonna fix my pants a little bit. Kind of bundled up here. Let me undo this. Is there anyone behind me? All right. I always have to drop. I wear multiple layers. I do, like, you know, boxers, runners, leggings, even though it's getting warm enough that I don't need them. and then 2 long sleeve shirts. And then I have it's borderline OCD tendency, but I have like a certain way I need to layer everything for me to feel like I'm held together well. I think I'm gonna drop the gloves because my hands are getting sweaty. Whoops. I'm a teacher. Nice. That's amazing. History. Good times. See if I can increase. There we go. If I increase the brightness, I can see what you're saying. Wow, that's beautiful. All right, we're back at it. Let's see if we can lock a nice pace. We're wasting time here. So we got 2.5 miles left. Each mile should take about 15 minutes. So we're looking at, I don't know, 37.5 minutes. That's tracking towards 50 minutes. Tracking towards 7 a.m. Not bad. Historical documentaries, noise. I used to watch a lot of those too. Ah, man. So, you know, the distance we've already run is no joke. Like, you always feel the work you did prior, whether it's what you did that same day or the day before. Like, everything stacks, and that's not bad. It's important to respect the recovery process, but then also like perceive what you can edge forward. Like, if I walked right now, I'd still be getting good cardio. I'd still be making good progress, a little slower than I need to do my family commitments. Be lower impact, which is great, but it's not really necessary based on where my body is. Even though there's some soreness, or certain parts of my body are a little asymmetric, so I feel like one glute is firing more than the other glute. Same with quads, same with shoulders. You know, reality is I'm sore, but I'm running within like a safe box of control limits because I've built strength over the last 273 days. So I can run like this. It just takes time. How much have you run today or ever? This month, this year? Have you tried swimming? Helps with discs. Yeah, I've swum before. It's hard to find pools in Tokyo. They exist. They're normally kind of expensive to go to a club, and I just haven't like worked it into my rhythm. I enjoy the process of kind of getting out into nature. Half of my workouts per week, because it just helps me think and process through the details of my life, from my job, parenting, fitness, and all the other things. Today, well, once we get to that tree, that's the 2 mile marker from the start, and we ran to the 4 mile marker. So ran 4 miles to halfway, 2 miles back to here, so we'll be at 6 miles, which for all you metric folk will be at just under a 10K. And today we've run with pretty safe form. We started off kind of on dead legs, just had a high activity weekend, so probably need to find a better way to recover. I like to stay as active as I can though, but you gotta give your body space to rest and replenish. But I'm kind of on a different end of the spectrum now. My workouts are normally 50 minutes to an hour and a half, and then the long runs go up to about 2 hours. So rest and recovery really matters for me. Some of y'all might need to get off the couch and just start something. So recovery might be a little bit less of a focus for you. I don't want to make any assumptions though. Are you from America? Yes. I grew up in Chicago predominantly. Lived in Cincinnati, Ohio for about 6-7 years. And then my family relocated to Tokyo during all the COVID shenanigans. We actually relocated 12 times in 1 year as a family based on all kinds of COVID impacts and situations outside our control. It was a hot mess. Like, I was offered this job in Japan in February 2020. I don't know if that's a familiar date for you, but in March 2020, President Trump made an announcement that they're stopping travel to Europe, and the world ran out of toilet paper and everything burned. Right? Like, so that killed the job. I moved into systems engineering on a robotic surgical platform. Whew. And then, by the way, I'm diligently focusing on keeping my pace mellow. I'm at the point of fatigue where you want to start running fast so that it's over with. And I gotta be here in the journey. I gotta make myself cozy and at home with this terrible experience. But so anyway, I was re-offered the job in April 2021. So just over a year later. And then we were told we'd be able to relocate to Japan quickly. So we sold our home because the market was profitable. J&J, because I work for Johnson & Johnson, moved us into a temporary furnished apartment in Ohio. And that assumption of a quick relocation was wrong. Like, they just didn't open the borders as expected for the Olympics. They kept everything shut. Also, that apartment had a massive bed bug infestation. So we moved into a hotel, and then Chicago with family, back into a hotel, back into the unit after 2 rounds of really intensive extermination. And then after about 8 months or so, yeah, about 7 months, I counted on my fingers. After about 7 months, J&J had been lobbying the Japanese government to relocate our family based on medical innovation necessity. So we were kind of like at the front of the line. And in November, early November, we got word that the Japanese government was going to grant us an emergency medical visa to relocate quickly. So, because that seemed real, we moved out of our apartment in Cincinnati, purged all our excess stuff. And by the way, at this point, everything from our original house, furniture, PS4, stuff like that, was already packed in a shipping container, ready to sail across the ocean. So we had been living without the majority of our possessions for like 7 months. We purged all of our possessions and then go up to Chicago to see family for Thanksgiving. And then the day before we got our visa to be able to fly to Japan, they closed the borders for, what is it, Omicron. So we were stranded in Chicago. We lived with family, a hotel, and then a furnished apartment for 5 months. Put the kids through school in Chicago for a little bit. And then finally in March 2022, here's a rainbow. In March 2022, we finally got our visa, finally landed in Japan, lived in a furnished apartment in a cool place called Omotesando for about 40 days, house hunted, found our forever-ish home, stayed there on rented furniture for a couple weeks, and then our shipping container with all our possessions that were packed a year prior arrived, and then we moved in for reals. And we've been here for 2 years. Once we get to March 16th, that's our 2-year anniversary. But our life's been oriented around life in Japan for 4 years or so, so pretty wild, honestly, the whole darn thing, the way it's all worked out. You grew up in Berlin? Sounds like you've been through hell. Yeah! Yeah. Sorry, sometimes my phone will just stop getting messages. Yeah, you've been through hell, that's about right. You know, and my job in Japan ends in about 3.5 months. So while I'm on parental leave with baby number 4, I'm also trying to find another job through Johnson & Johnson that'll keep us here. But it's very complicated. I have something called golden handcuffs, which, first of all, it's a privilege to have. So, despite all the hell and challenge to get here, like, J&J's paid a tremendous amount of money to help us navigate all these moves and to keep us here. Like our rent's around $8,000 a month USD. Schooling for the kids is like $30,000 a year per kid. For kindergarten, first grade, and preschool, it's wild. It's the cost of international school is no joke. Yeah, so it's like, and I get like a cash bonus each year to cover airfare and lodging back home for home leave once a term for a whole family. So it's like I have to find someone, like a company in the US, that's Johnson & Johnson, that needs my particular skills based in Japan, and they have to be willing to pay a salary and all of those benefits. Yeah, so I looked at like my W-2 or whatever, and even though like we're still paycheck to paycheck because of college debt and having a big family and cost of living in Tokyo is very expensive, even with inflation. Yeah, so even though we're paycheck to paycheck, like all of those benefits I described are taxable benefits. So J&J basically has to pay for those and offset the increase in tax base for me so that it feels like I'm making the same amount as before I went to Japan. It's like on WW2, it's like 420,000 USD, but I ain't making that much money. No way, nothing close to that. So the people don't understand like the cost a business has to take on to relocate someone internationally. Now it differs from country to country and from a taxation and a lodging perspective, but you know, we're incredibly blessed to get to live in Japan the way we do and the education our kids get. And you know, I live in central Tokyo. I still get to run next to a river and a rainbow every other day. Like there's a lot of things that set it up as a really sweet deal after the 12 relocations and trauma associated with it. Whew. Ever since I got arthritis, I got addicted to painkillers, Kingsley, and alcohol. Dude, I'm so sorry. Rheumatoid or osteo. Kingsley, that's so hard to hear, dude. There's a really good content creator called the... Sorry, I'm getting fuzzy. I've been out here for like... It's almost a double rainbow. The GoPro probably can't pick up the one to the left of the big one, but it's very exciting. Kingsley, there's a great content creator called the knees over toes guy. Like your knees that bend and your toes that you walk on. Knees over toes guy. He's got something called ATG, which is like the Athletic Truth Group. It's a little pushy of a title to say you really found truth in the spaces of fitness, but he's got a lot of really good workouts and methodologies to reverse out of pain. So retraining different movements from a strength, mobility perspective. And his content's accessible across, you know, different body weights, different builds, different medical conditions. Like he's helped his mother reverse out of a lot of pain and discomfort. So you might want to check out his profile. I'm thinking about getting certified in ATG just because I found a lot of the principles overlap with DadBod and my half marathon training, but I've never navigated arthritis the way you've described, as well as alcohol. So just continue to press on in a way that's best for you. Almost home. Got 1 mile left, friends. That's the 1 mile marker. 7 miles down. Lock it in, lock it in. Doing really good. How is it? Oh, my phone's losing signal. That's the problem. We ain't got no internet. Sorry, friends, if I'm waiting on my phone being too much of a data hog. Anyway, I'll continue the conversation in the dark, I guess. Like, we need some stuff just to help with a rotator cuff injury I've been navigating, and honestly, like, working on it really well. It's still a process, never comfy, you know. Like, you can have pain, comfort that's debilitating, and then you find the right way to move around it, how to strengthen the regions around it. Like, oh, crap, that's gone. Amazing. 7.14 miles. Nice. I'll gozaimasu. And try to reconnect. There we go. There we go. 7.2 miles. All right, we're definitely over 10K. We're probably at 11. But the rest of this run might be blind to chat, friends. We did burn through a lot of pocket Wi-Fi, which is connected to a cell phone signal. We burned through a lot of pocket Wi-Fi at the hospital, so it's possible that this long run is taking too much data and it's slowing everything down. I'm not sure. I could power cycle my phone as well. Whew. Making great progress, man. It's a good run today. Hard run. Super challenging. But we're in it. Almost done. You know, we're sore, we're tired, we're out of breath. We would rather be doing many, many other things. But we do the hardest thing first in the morning. And we do the hardest thing first thing in the week. Which starts by going to bed early on Sunday. Come on, it's getting wet. Got a wet bike seat waiting for me. You know what? I know that this is an 8-mile run. I know the path. So I'm gonna power cycle my phone and maybe I can get back on chat. Just got a notification. Wifey's awake. Baby's awake. Means it's time to get home. Come on, legs. The cool thing is, like, we're not actively training for a half marathon right now. Actually, I'm in maintain mode. And there are many aspects of maintain mode that suck. Mainly the whole maintaining what you've built and earned, as opposed to just getting to coast. Like, once you fight to get something, you could lose it twice as fast. That's why you always have to have something planned for after you complete a big milestone. I'm gonna walk for a minute. I'm gonna stretch my legs. Keep my hamstrings nice and tight. My left side was injured the last couple weeks, so keep that going well. But, like, cool thing about maintain mode, you know, I'm feeling pretty fresh at about 7.2 miles, 7.4 miles probably. I could keep running, could finish it out fast, and honestly I should, because one of my kids is awake, so I should get home. But I wanted to breathe, get breathing under control. And walking works a slightly different range of motion for me, which is still very good. So I walk with good form, run with good form for me. And one second. But you know, the cool thing about maintain mode though is like right back there when I was running strong, feeling the intensity, you know, felt the breathing, super hard, super difficult. Like, it missed all of that, all those feelings and discomforts and stuff. I was like, if I had to run a half marathon right now, I could absolutely do it. You know, like if the health and wellness of my family depended on it. There we go, we're back on 5G, so maybe I can get chat. I could absolutely do it. It would definitely, I don't want to discount, like it'd be challenging, I'd be sore, borderline injured, maybe, probably fine, but definitely need to recover for a couple days. But at 7.14 miles, I could already like sense that if I had to go the extra 5 miles, 5.5 to get a half marathon right now, and I didn't have to take my kids to school and all the other pieces. Hey, there's chat, I gotta go. Bye, Tom, stay strong. You know, then we'd be fine. We could do it, and that's like the cool thing about working to completion on a journey, like finishing the half marathon program, and then intentionally building a different program that keeps me on that level and pushes me. Whoosh, you're the best, mate. Mental health care costs. Oh, dude, mental health care is so expensive. Gotta go. I'm gonna hop off. No worries, Kingsley. But you know, so it's an area where like sometimes you gotta take a moment and just delight in the progress you've made for yourself wherever you are on the journey. Because whether it was on day 1, day 20, day 50, running the half marathon, 100 days past the half marathon, today, like any day, I still have doubt, insecurity, feelings of inadequacy, feelings of comparison, lack of motivation to keep showing up. You know, feelings of doubts that the progress I've made is gonna slip away. I'm one injury away, right? I'm a couple missed workouts away, or I'm binging on food away. All these things, right? One traumatic experience away. And we can't operate well out of that fight or flight mindset, but we gotta process it. We gotta put it in its place. We gotta feel all those little feelings. You gotta find a logical response to everyone. The stairs are kicking my butt. Come on. And we gotta keep showing up for ourselves. Keep walking up the same bloody flight of stairs, right? Even if someday, we won't be able to. Because we'll make a couple mistakes and backslide, or we'll get injured, or we legitimately get old and lose mobility. We experience a disability, right? So we also have to have the mindset that we are currently able-bodied, but there's an impermanence to just about everything in life. And in the event we were consistent, disciplined, and trained those stairs and trained that path and lifted every week for years leading up to whatever that disability may be, well, heck, we're going to be in a far better position to navigate that with wisdom, strength, mental fortitude, you know, to still find a way to show up for ourselves the best we can with what level of ableism we have left, right? Like, one of the things I absolutely love about Japan compared to the US is you see old people that move. It's a very, very simple concept, but it's so radically different than the US or other contexts. Like, as people get older in Japan, they still move, whether they're on a walker, a cane, someone's pushing them in a wheelchair, but they're getting out. Like, because cars aren't readily available in Tokyo for most people, if you want food, if you want anything, you have to physically go A to B. And as you navigate disability, like, that becomes very difficult. But that necessity, in some ways, brings about health and vitality. Like, because folks that are on the edge of disability can push it off for a while because they still have to get up and move to get what they need. You know, Uber Eats, things like that are starting to destroy that. And there are people that genuinely need that convenience because they are no longer able-bodied. But man, in the morning, like after I drop the kids off at school, the amount of older Japanese folks I see just walking or using their little walker, their canes, double cane, single cane, straining, sweating, but getting out there. Like, they live because they move. That's why we're out here. Whew. It's a deliberate choice. It's a hard choice. But every day, you have a choice on what you can do with your time, your effort, your energy. Where you can recognize what's stealing those things. Ah, there's our sunrise. Nailed it. That's actually the cover of the run. I love that picture. I caught it at a perfect sunrise. Then I bumped the contrast a little bit. Made it look nice. It's not the thumbnail anymore because our Wi-Fi signal died, but what can you do, right? Shogunai. All right, whew, almost there. Friends, it's been grand. Today is marked by achievement, perseverance, persistence. I couldn't be more proud of you all. But we did. We're almost there. Just about 8 miles. And it's a run we've been trying to get up to for, I think, 5 weeks now. We had a couple setbacks with some injuries. Naturally, having a baby, a little bit of a setback. Just a tiny one, you know? We had quite a few resets and difficulties. And that's totally normal. Totally normal to have challenges in our journey. Fitness isn't linear. Every muscle, every bit of cardio and endurance doesn't get better in a straight line over time with work. Certain things need more or less recovery. There's certain setbacks, there's certain modifications. Life happens. Everything has to be integrated appropriately. But if we're persistent, we're in good shape. And that's the kicker. If we keep showing up for ourselves, we're in really, really good shape. So, thanks for being here out on a runny, wet Japanese morning. Workout took place from about 4:40 in the morning until 7. So actually, yeah, until 7, so about 2 hours, 10 minutes. Starting to get more wet. Yay. But we're built for it. Everything we got's in bags. Good one. That was a hard one, but a good one. I'm a little parched. Luckily, I have a lychee flavored salt water waiting for me in my bicycle, which normally I wouldn't drink, but based on how much salt and water you lose, I was like, I used like a Lawson this morning, which is like a convenience store. I felt bad just using the bathroom, even though I totally could. So I was like, oh, I'll buy a drink. I was like, well, I shouldn't just drink straight water after workout. And I was like, I have my post-workout at home. I was like, what? I was like, I need a salty water drink. And I saw like the lychee salt water, and I was like, yes! Any other circumstance, bad drink from a health perspective. After 2 hours and 10 minutes of running in the rain, perfect drink. Perfect replenishing drink. Your body needs salt to function. Now, the average American diet puts us into hypertension. It's way too salty. But I haven't really had breakfast yet, so oh, I miss my river. That's one lucky dog right there.